Well, hi there. If you're watching this video, that means I actually passed in my project on time. So, yay for me! Through this video, I'm actually going to start explaining what some of the organelles in cells are, starting with the nucleus and ending with how they're kind of related. So, enjoy!
The cell, the most basic living unit of all organisms, from here to Earth. This is a eukaryote cell, which stores its DNA in a protected nucleus. The nucleus is the command center of the cell, where the decisions get made. Nucleus? No, nucleus. 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 You know what? It doesn't matter. Let's just move on. The reason the nucleus controls the rest of the cell is that it contains DNA. DNA is really something else. It contains a creature's complete genetic makeup, their blueprint. DNA is coiled up and stored in many units called chromosomes, a different number for every species. If you look very closely, chromosomes are just tightly wound packages of DNA. The DNA macromolecule. This is the good stuff. It's read in a line, like code. Different sections code for different parts of your body. Amazingly, the code of DNA is made up of just 4 parts. It's like writing an entire symphony with just 4 notes. Each of these notes is called a nucleotide, made up of a sugar, a phosphate, and one of 4 bases.
Chlorophyll? More like borophyll.
Golgi apparatus, also known as the Golgi complex, is an organelle found in eukaryotic cells. It is part of the cellular endomembrane system, and it packages proteins inside the cell before they are sent to their destinations. It's important for the process of proteins for secretion. Plasmic reticulum, or the ER, has 2 forms, the rough ER and the smooth ER. The rough ER produces ribosomes, which help produce proteins, and the smooth ER does not. It actually is involved in the synthesis of lipids. The centrosomes are an organelle that serves as a microtubule organizing center. Centrosomes are also associated with the nuclear membrane during a prophase of cell cycle. It has a key role in making cilia and flagella. Flagella are long extensions of the cytoskeleton. They help move cells, and they are found in bacteria and protists, specifically ones with moving tails. The mitochondrion is a membrane-enclosed organelle found in eukaryotic cells. It is also described as the cellular power plants because they generate most of the cell's supply of ATP. They have other tasks such as signaling, cellular differentiation, cell death, as well as the control of the cell cycle and growth. The majority of cells only contain 1 mitochondrion, but others can contain several thousand of them. Some of the parts to a mitochondrion include matrix, DNA, inner and outer membranes, cristae, granules, and they also contain ribosomes. The cell membrane, or the plasma membrane, is a biological membrane that separates the interior of all cells from the outside environment. The most basic function of it is to protect the cell from its surroundings. It is also related to the cytoskeleton. It surrounds the cytoplasm of animal and plant cells. The cell wall is a tough, but usually flexible, layer that surrounds the types of some cells. It is located around the cell membrane and provides the cells with the structural support and protection, in addition to filtering as a filtering mechanism. It also helps the flow of what goes in and out of the cell, and it acts as a pure vessel. Cell walls are mainly found in algae, fungi, bacteria, and plants. Animals do not have cell walls. So, as you can tell from the board, I'm going to give you a little example of the adventure of a protein and how some of the organelles are actually connected to each other. So first what starts off is we have our nucleolus, which actually makes ribosomes. And these ribosomes are the things that make proteins. These proteins are what actually gives the cells their energy. And then, from the proteins, we go to the rough ER. And the rough ER, what does it do? It's where, I'm following the paper if you can tell. So, oops. Forms shapes. And after it forms its shapes, each specific shape does a specific job. So whatever it shapes into depends on what it does, like giving it energy or making it do mitosis or whatever it might be. And then it's packaged and transferred into vacuoles. And these are like little cars that take the proteins wherever they really need to go. And then it travels to our Golgi complex. And it can do other things too, like it can go off here where it brings its wastes and it transports them to liposomes, and they break down the enzymes so nothing gets hurt in the cell. And then they get processed, which I probably spelled wrong. They get processed and released into a vesicle, which also makes it travel to either inside the cell or to the plasma membrane, where from the plasma membrane it can give other cells energy and blah blah blah. And then, this may sound kind of gross, but it's secreted out where it actually does its job outside the cell. And that's how some of these organelles are actually related. It's kind of crazy. Mind blowing. Wow.